better than your morning coffee, I tell you that. That song, it'll get you going.
I've learned to take my headphones off when it's about to play.
It's just like, it will not be held down by the volume meter. It just refuses to be controlled by the volume knob. It's like, no, I'm loud, I'm proud, get used to it.
Do you turn the volume knob down on that thing before it plays?
I do.
Really?
This is at like half volume.
Amazing.
It is.
It's the loudest
What kind of mixing
thing
did you
I've
put
ever
into
heard.
that thing? It's like,
So,
it's like, no, don't you dare try to hold me back.
it's a behemoth.
Yeah.
It's a tiger.
Kraken.
Tiger off leash.
Tiger, burning bright. What volume will control you tonight? It's like, I don't think that's quite the
That might
concept.
be a slight diversion from the poem itself, but
Yeah.
I like it. It's yeah. I think I think that poem might be by Rudyard Kipling.
I think
that might be his
say
name.
It was by somebody named Blake. I could be totally wrong. Hold on. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, please look it up.
Tiger.
If you don't...
yeah, I'm right. William Blake. Tiger.
Shit.
Swish.
Wait, can you
Swish.
see? Yeah, that is a swish for you. Can you tell me who Rudyard Kipling is? Say that 10 times fast.
Of course. I don't want to mess it up, but I'm pretty sure Rudyard Kipling wrote like the Jungle Book. And
that's okay. So that's what made me think he wrote that poem, because it's about tigers.
That's right.
Just like Shere Khan.
Correct.
Shere Khan, the tiger from the Jungle Book.
Yeah, and that
guy
story
was a menace.
He is a menace. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the Jungle Book, and yeah, it's like he was born in India actually. He was born
Shere Khan.
Yes, well, him too, but so Rudyard Kipling, but yeah.
Oh yeah, old Rudyard.
Rudyard, yeah. Yes,
so I'm guessing Rudyard was like a British gentleman or something?
Yeah. He was born in 1865, so this is when the Brits ruled India. He was born in India, and he was like, a lot of the Brits actually did take to India. Like they
still do.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to take, right? They were royalty in India, but besides that, like he was actually like, he like actually captured the culture, the wildlife, those kinds.
That's
of
really
things.
cool. I mean, one thing I do like about some of those like old school Brits is that a lot of them do love animals.
Yes.
Like there's actually quite a bit of animal appreciation or like love of nature.
Yeah.
There even used to be this fad, or I mean, I wouldn't have called it a fad at the time, but there was this kind of trend amongst the well-to-do or members of sophisticated society back in the Victorian era, I believe, when they would sort of study beetles, and I've recently purchased a wonderful book about the stag beetle. Absolutely informative on every plane. Yeah, they loved. They would learn about insects and collect beetles, even though they would just be these kind of. I mean, they weren't entomologists officially, but
but they were like being a naturalist or stuff like that. That was celebrated there, and this was before like you could just go to Instagram and type like Galapagos and see what the hell came up. Like you had to like this is when like a guy came back from like 2 years of sailing around the Galapagos, and like he would be invited to like tea and lunches and all kinds of stuff where he would be like asked to tell about all the magnificent creatures he must have encountered.
Yeah, his adventures abroad. Yeah, it's...
Oh, do tell.
Shout out to Antonia.
Yeah. Sorry to any Brits if I'm butchering your accent. You have a lovely accent, and I also love that you have many variations of that accent. And
they do.
Yeah, I will do my best to butcher every variation of that.
It's cool. It's cool to hear. Like, it's cool to hear you've made peace with the British accent, it sounds like.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know if it was always the case. Like, I know that, like, would you say that, I mean, understandably so, given India's history with Britain, but, like, would you say there was, like, a time when you were, I don't know, sort of, like, more skeptical of those limeys?
No, no, not so much. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I'm not one of those people. I don't believe in holding the current generation of Brits responsible for what
That's cool.
those Brits back then did. It doesn't seem fair to me. It seems like you're just living in the past and refusing to move on. So like I'm just like, nah, forget it. It's of course, if a guy's a dick, he's a dick. Like right now, that's the thing. But yeah, for the most
Here's
part,
a.
I've moved on.
That's really cool. It's very big of you. This is a quick ASMR sound bit. I'm gonna
Oh,
provide
let's hear.
with
Yeah, I want to hear it.
a little coffee. Can you hear this? Oh,
I hear a little bit.
Might have
I
been
hear a
too
little
quiet. Shit. Oh, you know what would have been better? I should have poured it from higher above the cup.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it. Well, it's a note for next time. Now I have to. Oh, hold on. I want to do this right. I can't move on after that.
Do you have like an
gotta get-
ASMR compatible mic? It's like this. Isn't this like a weird?
These
like,
aren't. I
need
mean,
a
it's an
correct mic or something?
it's a similar mic to yours. It's an SM7B, and I think
Oh,
yours
okay,
is
okay.
an offshoot of that.
Yeah.
They're not optimized for that kind of thing. ASMR is better recorded with a mic that's more like a large diaphragm condenser microphone, or something that's optimized for maximum level of capturing detail and air and every little detail. And you don't always want that. That's not always better. But
Right,
if you're
right,
doing
right, sure.
ASMR, it usually is, because you kind of want to hear every little tiny scratch on the fabric that they might do with their fingernails, or
Right.
every
right, yeah.
detail in their voice, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this one more try,
Yeah,
though,
let's
because
give
I'm
it
not
one-
satisfied.
Sure, why not?
I'm not satisfied with my contribution to the ASMR community this morning. I want to try to get this right. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to stand up.
ASMR. Okay, good.
I'm going to stand up because I can't do it. I can't get the leverage sitting. I'm trying to
Okay.
get this sound.
Okay, I hear it way better now.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we could hear that. Nice. Okay. I guess I'll take that. I'll take that take.
Yeah, no, that's way better.
Okay.
You can always punch it up in post. if you-
Yeah, and I probably will. Yeah.
give it the full, benefit of your editing skills.
He cheated.
Post. It's not real ASMR because he punched it up in post.
They are nothing but phonies.
Tough crowd.
Tough crowd of two over there. Those two cynics. The peanut gallery coming in with these high expectations.
Yeah.
Whew. People have high expectations. People have higher expectations for others than they do from themselves today.
That's true. That's true. Because like when they start to do it, they realize it's not as easy as it is when you're
I know.
judging something.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a lot harder when you try to
Do
match.
something.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you try to match your words with actions.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to be a keyboard warrior, hide behind your
Yeah,
computer,
absolutely.
your laptop.
I think that's why critics will never surpass like artists in the level of respect that they
Well
get from
said.
society, because critics,
Not in my book.
they play their role, they give you like a glimpse into what somebody's work, what's good, what's bad, but nobody ever respects a critic more than an artist, I feel, because
I know.
they're just judging at the end of the day, and at the end of the day nobody likes being judged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also it's oftentimes unfair.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not, and it's also just like, don't throw rocks from inside a glass house. Like, you're not perfect. You don't. It's like some of
Yeah.
these critics. They don't. It's not like they can create a great piece of art themselves.
Yeah.
That's kind of. I mean, I don't know. Not to. That was a little bit of my struggle sometimes with vocal
Yeah.
coaches.
Yeah.
And it's not, and by the way, some vocal coaches are like amazing singers, but what I notice across the board with them, even, and I don't want to be a dick, but even the ones that have amazing technique and have a strong voice and have incredible vocal agility and can just shoot up and down their range with such ease, a lot of times they don't have a voice that I would consider interesting or character drenched.
Yeah.
It can be a little generic sounding.
Right.
Not always. Again, that's a generalization. There are some vocal coaches who actually have been professional singers and have had a history of being a like successful recording artist, but maybe not most of them. And anyway, but it's a tangent, I guess, but it's somewhat related.
One good thing about rock music is I think people value like a vocalist with character more than
Totally.
it's like
I think even with pop music
yeah.
too, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
with pop music too, you think of some of the biggest pop singers, their voices are usually, not always, but often pretty distinctive.
Yeah.
It's like nobody sounds like Sia. Lady Gaga has a, it's her when you hear it, and it's pretty,
Right. Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely have really good voices, but like, it's it doesn't.
I
have
know
to
what
be
you mean,
perfect.
though. I know.
Yeah,
I do. I agree with you. Like, you are right. I do think there's a higher premium. There's a higher value placed on character in the rock world, than the pop world, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to what you were saying about critics and stuff. There's just so many keyboard warriors today, and they're so aggressive and so mean, and it's like you are not in a position. It was really, like it was really funny. I heard, I like that podcast WTF, which I've referenced before on this show, and I think Mark Maron had great conversations with many, many guests, and he had a great podcast, and. Well, it was really funny because, he leans on the liberal side of things, so he's always, and he's pretty vocal about it, so he's always taking a lot of flack from, the far right people on the internet and everything.
Sure.
And the far right people have a loud voice on the internet today.
Oh, they do. Yeah, because they're very extremely defensive.
Yes.
Because, they basically got all that they wanted in the last election. Like they got pretty much almost everybody in power was was a Republican. So like suddenly they have no one else to blame for what's happening. So
I know
they're extra defensive now about stuff. Bad mentality. I'm not saying Republicans are bad, Democrats are bad, but what's bad is trying to like be so close-minded that you feel like you need to defend somebody just because you voted for them. Hey, that's not your job. That's their job, is to do good by you. If they don't do good by you, hey, like.
Tucker Carlson came out and publicly announced that he didn't support Trump anymore.
Yeah, he did.
It was wild.
He did. He was also not too happy about what Israel was doing either. Like he's been quite vocal about like not liking how they have been like basically pulling America into wars and stuff. He has a valid point. Like I'm not, I don't want to comment on Israel, or I don't want to get into those kind of. That's a mess right there. The whole Israel-Palestine thing.
It's a big topic.
It's a big topic on itself. But like his point is just like people are struggling with their day-to-day. Why are you bringing us into wars, which don't concern us? It's a valid point, in my opinion.
Yeah. Totally. And it's pretty bold of him to come
definitely.
out and say that. I'm sure he lost a few followers that day.
Yeah.
My mom might have been one of them. I know. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah. But he's apparently he's gaining other followers too. So,
totally. Well, that's the thing. When you make a bold move and you're honest, you will lose some followers, but you'll gain others. And the ones you gain are the ones that you want.
Yeah.
Because they're more aligned with what you believe in your core and stuff.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And who you are currently, not like who you were years ago or whatever that somebody's clinging on to.
Yeah.
And expecting you to perpetuate for their own self-satisfaction.
Yeah. Come on. It's like with music. I mean, how many of the bands that you thought were amazing when you were a teenager do you still like? I mean,
after Saint Anger, I don't. No, I'm just kidding. I still think.
No, that's actually a great example. Saint Anger is I'm a big Metallica fan, but I don't like Saint Anger, and a lot of Metallica fans will probably agree with me. But doesn't mean we don't like Metallica. We just don't like that album, and that's totally fine to say that. Lars's dad had no problem saying.
Oh my God. Oh,
that
I wish I
that
could meet his dad.
that old Danish bearded Danish dude had no problem telling Lars he needs to re-record some
Oh,
stuff.
that old Danish founding father had no problem dismantling. That had no problem sharing his harsh opinions of his son's music on camera, nonetheless. It wasn't even like he didn't even pretend to like it just because he's on camera.
It wasn't even like a
I
hidden
better go
camera.
easy. They are filming me. I don't want to look like an asshole.
Those thoughts
Zero.
didn't cross his mind at all.
Didn't
He was
cross his
just-
beard.
Yeah, he didn't cross his beard at all. He's the fact that there was a documentary crew in front of him with a camera pointed at him didn't faze him one
flinch.
bit
He didn't flinch. Didn't waver. Oh.
when he decided to take those headphones off.
Yes. And those are the kind of men we need in Congress.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of keyboard warriors online.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing
Oh my
the
God,
thing that's so but to connect that back to Mark Maron, like I was heading towards, is that so like I said, Mark Maron kind of leans left, and
Right.
he's always taken a lot of flack from the right. He kind of invites it. I mean, he's very vocal, but I mean, he's just, I guess, being, honest about his views, but they get all up in arms. And it's funny because it's like, dude, this comedian is not going to single-handedly take down your party. Like, you don't have to get so defensive. If if you're so confident that you're right, then why are you so defensive? But
Yes.
but like, so Mark will talk about his views, and then he'll get tons of negative comments and all these haters and people saying, "You liberal cuck, you're a cuck, you're a race traitor cuck, you're a soy boy, you're a pussy," all the stuff that these
goodness.
weird QAnon right, and they're not just Republican, they're far right. There is to be clear, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Like, if I think of a Republican, I think of like my dad.
Right.
My dad does not like Trump.
Right. Yes.
He is an old school classic Republican.
Right.
He's one of those, like, well, you have to earn what you get, and there's responsibility involved, and life is about choices. He's one of these Republicans, which is, by God, so safe and tame
compared to
by
what
comparison.
we're seeing now.
Yes, to what we've witnessed in the last 8 years. And it's so funny. So my dad is like that. He doesn't like Trump, but then the far right are a different breed. So anyway, Mark Maron will get all these angry, hateful comments, and he calls them the army of unfuckable hate nerds. Which is pretty apt for the most part. And because the thing that's so funny is a lot of these guys online who hate women and make all these because they're so angry because they've been rejected, and it's like, motherfucker, we've all been rejected. Rejection's part of life. Put your big boy pants on. Just move past it. How old are you? You're 40. Move the fuck past it. You are a child. Like, rejection is part of life, whether you like it or not. And it doesn't mean that all women hate you, and it doesn't mean that all women are stupid, brainless bimbos, because guess what? They aren't. And if you think that, then either you've never been laid, never been on a date, or never been around women your age, or you are just this dude who only values women by their looks, and you've been going after a certain kind of bimbo for the longest time, and you can't seem to land it, and you feel like it's unfair. And it's like, buddy, if you weren't so fucking superficial, you could find a really nice girl to settle down with and be with, and she would love you for who you are.
Right.
But that's not good enough for you. No, you don't want to be loved for who you are. You want to be loved for who you think you are, or who you think you could be in some future imaginary scenario in your mind. So it's like, that's why they hate women. It's not because the reason they have bad experiences with women they've dated, or they get rejected a lot, they're going after someone who doesn't fit what is right for them. That's how I've kind of see it. But
Yeah,
so
and they
sorry,
all,
yeah,
I
go
think.
ahead.
Sorry, just a quick note, and
No,
also I
please.
think they also kind of idolize these guys who call themselves like sigma males and alpha
Oh,
males, and it's like
brother.
it's all like it's like fake machoism. It's not
It's
real
fake. It's
machoism.
arrogance. It's not
It's arrogant.
confidence.
Yeah,
There's a
it's like
difference.
yeah, it's like guys like I think it's one of Andrew Tate guy. I forget if that's his name or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Him.
He's like
He's like one of the ringleaders of the assholes.
yeah, and
He's
his
like
whole
the president of those like mean far right
yeah
keyboard warrior
y-
losers in their mom's
yeah
basement who can't get laid.
yeah, and like it's like he just goes around kind of like telling them like this is how you need to be, and like if something is not working, it's not your fault. It's like the woman's fault, and I'm just like, and it's like, well, with that kind of attitude, you'll never get anywhere. I mean,
Yeah, and that attitude of hating women is an attitude of refusing to take responsibility for your own flaws.
yeah,
That's
it's
really
like a
what that
cowardly
stems
way
from.
out. To be fair,
It is. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
cowardly way out. It's a pussy way out. It's a I don't like that word. It's a gross, weird word, but not for political reasons, but just personally, I don't like it.
Yeah, right.
It's ugh. It's like people would say they hate the word moist, but anyway, yeah, it's like yeah. So Andrew Tate, yeah, totally, he's one of those, but yeah. So Mark Maron was like, I loved this one thing Mark Maron said where he said, it's so hilarious because all these guys on the internet who hate me and say I'm a loser and that I'm a soy boy and a liberal cuck and all these other cliche insults they use against me to try to belittle me or emasculate me. He was like, it's so hilarious because I just know that 95% of those guys, those keyboard warriors, are just dudes who can't get laid, who women don't like, who are angry about that. And Mark was like, it's so funny because those guys calling me a loser and a pussy and a soy boy, he was like, I get more action from women in a given year than any one of those guys in a lifetime. And he didn't put it quite that like sort of pompously,
Yeah.
but it's true. Like this dude is a famous comedian with quite a bit of money. Like
Yeah.
this guy, and also women, like a lot of women just kind of like him anyway. And it's like this guy gets laid more than you, dude. He's not the cuck here. Like he's not the soy boy. You are. Like he's getting women.
But another
Yeah.
thing is, they're probably most of those guys aren't even real, man. They're
Well,
probably
that's
like
actually true
it's
too.
they're probably bots.
Good
You know,
point. I'm
this
glad
is
you
like
said that.
it's.
That's a good point.
I just can't wait for the whole sense of like online comments to become irrelevant. It's already happening, by the way. Like if you go anywhere
Yeah.
and you start like reading, like Twitter is a great example. Go to pretty much any Twitter thread you'll find. Maybe you'll scroll about 4 or 5 comments and you start to see like salty people, people who just kind of they're just like, but why is it like that? It's like they always have to like spin it into like something bad, and then like
Yeah.
they just like to troll people and get like people riled up, and a lot of these guys also are very good at using bots. There are literally bot farms. I've talked about this before, but like I don't take online comments seriously anymore because it's like you don't even
Yeah.
know if you're actually reading somebody's honest opinion or just reading about what somebody like has told a bot to like go out and do.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I feel like probably the more generic the comment sounds, the more likely it is to be some bot.
maybe, yeah, but
I
like
don't know how it
in
works exactly.
yeah, but I mean, in any case, I think you're just better off like yeah, pretty much not paying attention to most of the comments online. And I'm sure the guys who run that podcast don't. I mean, they have a successful podcast. Like it's like it's more than what most people can say. Most of those hateful comments can say that they've done in their lives. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So
Totally.
yeah,
They need to be more self-critical. They need to have more self-awareness. I mean, that's one of the biggest, again, I just think there's so many people today who just want to point fingers and cast blame.
oh yeah,
And it's such a weak personality trait, because it just shows that they're too insecure to look inward and be honest with themselves or with the world about who they are or what they really feel, or they're so
Yeah.
out of touch with the truth of their own feelings and their own. It's pathetic. It's like it's a weak trait, like to
Yeah.
be that way.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
shows a lack of self-awareness and a lack of responsibility.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, why, like,
Yeah, and it's like a
it's a
lot of the
cop-out.
yeah, and it's like a lot of those men who hate women. Like you meet them and get to know the way they are, and you're like, I mean, I don't blame women for not liking you, and like it's understandable to me why your marriage failed if you're divorced. And not, like you meet some of these like, because some of those men who hate women are like these divorced men who had a horrible experience in their marriage, and I mean, I'm not going to say it's always
Yeah.
mainly their fault that it
Right.
fell apart, but like in a lot of cases the men who just refuse to reflect or be introspective about it or take any responsibility for the failure of the marriage, a lot of times those men are just these children inside, and they're just very childish and refuse to take personal responsibility and really analyze their own role in relationships or their own flaws. And they're just like, she tried to change me or whatever. And I mean, there are instances, there are absolutely women who,
wiping my boogers on my shirt.
yeah, I like never making the bed. I don't want to do that. I don't want to clean up after myself. I don't want to walk the dog. I don't want to shave. I don't want to do anything I don't want to do. And and it's like, well, then you're going to be alone. I mean, not everything about you is awesome, or anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, there's definitely women who will be sort of very controlling and want to sort of change a man to fit whatever her wants or her agenda is. And that's not fair either.
Yeah,
but
yeah, of
but
course.
it goes, there's flaws on both sides. But
Yeah. I think I think a lot of it is, yeah, just being in a comfortable place with yourself mentally. I think it's more like a lot of people who are like I said, like I find like most of the people loud and obnoxious online are just coming from a very defensive place. Like they kind of like inherently know that
totally.
they're kind of in the wrong, but they just
Or missing out on something that they
or missing
want.
out on something, right? So they feel like the way they can kind of like make themselves feel good is by making it sound bad for everybody else.
Yeah.
So like they're just like, okay, well, that's good for you, but what about this? Of course they'll leave out the "that's good for you" part. They'll just say the "this is why it's bad" part.
Yeah.
So like it's like, yeah, well, come on.
I caught myself almost being a hater online the other day.
Yeah.
And I caught myself in the midst of typing a comment, and then I realized, you're kind of being a little bit of a hater right now. And I just
Yeah,
deleted
yeah.
it and abandoned ship.
Yeah, I think that's natural. Like we all have those tendencies to like judge. I feel to kind of like when we feel a little jealous or FOMO, we feel our first instinct is to go out and try to kind of like find something wrong with whatever we has made us feel that way.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to take a moment and just remember that there are a lot of things that you've done in your life that other people wish they could have done, and it's like just don't be a hater. Don't
Yeah,
put
and also if and when you yourself ever do make it to a point of prominence or fame,
yeah.
you're gonna have haters too.
Oh yeah.
So keep that in mind when you're typing a hateful comment. Like if you do actually believe in yourself, or you believe that you might ever do anything that could be publicly known or have people who might have opinions about you someday,
yeah.
pay it forward and don't be too hateful, because that's going to come back around to you
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
If you're
And
successful, and you want to be successful, right? So let's, why don't you take the positive assumption that you can and will actually be successful and be in the league of some of these people you're tempted to smear your FOMO all over or hate on, and don't do that. Yeah, because,
well said. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it's quite a topic. Oh, you know what that
Yeah.
made me think of was the beginning of this conversation about the
Yes.
British people with beetles, their obsession with, like their
Yeah.
interest in the natural world and
Right.
their
Yeah.
desire to kind of study it even when they're not entomologists. I think that it's actually a beautiful thing because I think they weren't so overburdened and overstimulated by outside distractions and social media and just like options of cars and everything else in the world, all this noise and all this overstimulation. I think that when it just kind of shows you when you have less of all of that, people are more likely to just look at the actual natural world around them and sort of
Mm.
like study it or be interested in it or appreciate it. I don't know. I might be wrong because, I mean, there are a lot of people today who love the natural world and want to see videos of bugs and snakes and stuff, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
And I also don't know for sure how many people back in that like Victorian era were genuinely interested in that stuff. It might not have been as many as in my mind, but I know it was a few. And again, they were kind of regular people.
A lot of them were probably like people who just lived in England, read the papers, and like, you know, maybe they traveled to Europe. But I'm sure, from what I, at least from like the stories that I read of like Sherlock Holmes, I used to love reading Sherlock Holmes and all these like Jules Verne and all these
Yeah,
like
there was some pretty good.
books
Yeah,
written by these guys back in the day,
yeah.
and
I was a
like
Jules Verne fan.
yeah, because who wouldn't be? Because like, and
I know.
it's fun
So
to like read it
adventurous.
because it's like at for its time it was like sci-fi, but of course like now
Yeah.
you're like it's that's probably not gonna happen, but like it was fun to read it about at the time, and I think a lot of those people were still fascinated, but not by like stuff that happened in Europe because they would go there, but like
Mm-hmm.
stuff that happened in like more exotic places like Africa, parts of India, Southeast Asia,
Right.
maybe to some extent Australia,
The
but
new
like
worlds,
yeah, new
right?
worlds, right? Like like that's the same reason this guy got famous, H.P. Lovecraft, when he wrote about this cosmic horror Cthulhu stuff. Like he wrote about like how like in Antarctica there was like a secret city of like these of with strange geometry where like which was built by these old gods, and like it fascinated people's imaginations because it was something that people were like maybe it could be real, and it
Right.
happens to this day. There are still like I love going on Reddit and going to like I'm a big fan of I forget the name, I don't know what they call themselves, but oh yeah, cryptozoologists. I love cryptozoologists, people who are like
Oh.
who believe in like Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster,
Oh
like
my
that kind of
God.
stuff. I get a real kick out of it. So I think it's like a similar kind of like fascination that the people from Victorian England had, where they were like, imagine the kind of things that might be out there, you know?
Oh yeah, I guess it is kind of like that.
Yeah.
I guess they're just people who have a desire to still
Yeah.
to believe that there
There's
could
more.
still that there's more, that there could still be things even on this earthly plane to still
Yeah.
discover.
Yeah,
That's
for
an
sure.
encouraging thought.
Yeah, like I think this guy was on the Joe Rogan show. He's a Korean guy. I really I forgot his name. I really apologize that I don't remember his name. But he said like he used to hear stories about that there was this living dinosaur in the Congo, and
I
he's
did.
yeah
I know the guy you're talking about. I saw some of that. He used to work for Vice magazine,
yeah yes
and
that's right
he's an
yeah
artist. he has an insane personal story of his own.
Yeah.
He and I sorry to cut you off. It's
No, no,
just
no,
I
no.
couldn't
Fine. Go
help it
ahead.
because
Go
this
ahead.
guy, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I saw that interview.
Yeah.
And that guy, that Korean guy, yeah, he is Korean, I believe, and lives in L.A. and he's an artist, like he's a visual artist. He's a painter,
Mm-hmm.
does these big paintings, but he's rich because he invested in Facebook really early on,
Oh, that's
and he
him.
made like $200 million or something
Jeez.
from having really early ground level stocks in Facebook, because
Nice.
when he was a painter, and Facebook, when it was starting out, they wanted someone to paint their facilities in Silicon Valley.
Right,
And so
right.
they
That's right.
hired him to paint their facilities, but they said, "Look, we can either pay you in cash, like 40 grand or whatever it was, or we can pay you with stocks in our company. Our company's called Facebook."
Yeah.
And he, for whatever reason, he took the stocks, and boy, did it pay off, but
Oh, yeah.
big time. But anyway, but you were saying you saw him on the Joe Rogan show?
Yeah, because same reason. Like I had heard about this stories about this supposed dinosaur that that supposedly exists in the Congo, and for anybody who isn't aware, like the Congo is still one of those very sparsely explored areas of the world because it's thick jungle. It's a lot of it is inhospitable.
Wow.
There are tribes that live there that do have contact with the outside world, but they also don't explore the forest too much because it's pretty hostile territory, and like the whole Congo drainage like is basin is it's like swamps and forest, and no one has ever there's
Wow.
a lot to explore there basically. So there are stories that there is like a dinosaur that lives there. The locals have a name for it, and what this guy was saying is like when he went there looking for it. He didn't, obviously, he got lost in the forest, but he was found and rescued by a tribe. And after they gave him some food and he felt better, he asked them about it. He said they were just talking about it, like, oh, yeah, yeah, it's right. We've seen it from time to time, kind of thing. Like they were just like talking about it, like as if like, like how we would talk about seeing like, maybe a bear in the woods or something, so like I was just like, listening to that
That's
and it was
interesting.
fascinating. Yeah. I mean,
Like they
to
were
be
like, "Oh
fair,
yeah, the dinosaur."
oh yeah, they have a name for it. It's called like I can look up what it's called, but
Wow.
they have like a name for it, and they were like, oh yeah, 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 we know that guy. But of course, like scientists are like, oh, it's impossible, and it's not. Yeah, it's called Mokele Mbempe, not to be confused with Mbappe, the French soccer striker who's right now probably
Mbappe.
pretty big because of the World Cup, but
Mbappe.
it's Mbempe, Mokele
Mbepe.
Mbempe.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
African is
it's
so fun. What a
I
fun
know, I
language.
know. They have these like clicks and stuff.
Ngulu. What?
Sorry
Ngulu.
if you're from Africa
Yeah.
listening to this.
Well,
Well,
2%.
yeah, come on the show and tell us about these clicks. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's fascinating to me, like to think about like something like that. But to anybody who's in North America, you don't need to look further. I'm sure that there are plenty of cryptozoologists and urban legend stuff floating around North America. I mean, I'm sure you must have noticed that people have this weird fascination with the Appalachian Trail and the Appalachian
Oh, yeah.
like
What is their
region.
fascination with it?
Well, it's just they this I don't know if this is just urban legend at this point, but there are a lot of like spooky tales that have come out of like the Appalachian area. Like it's like like for example, like people are like, yeah, if don't be out alone at night. If you don't ever whistle in the woods at night when you're walking.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if the forest goes very quiet, make sure you run. Like just stuff like that. Like people, it's just something that I feel like it's like lore that has just built over time. And now with AI, there are people who are putting videos about like check out this skin or check out this creature from the Appalachian, like or like hidden camera footage from the Appalachian region, and a lot of it is
Yeah.
the AI generated, but it's like it's basically
Well, that
adding
stuff
to
is
the
really
existing
fun.
world.
I
Yeah.
do. My only gripe with a lot of those documentaries is they'll kind of bait you in with these pictures of monsters and stuff, and I'm kind of sitting there biting my nails, waiting to see this beast. And typically, by the end of this 2.5 hour long documentary, they never find it, and
They never find it. Yeah, there's like
they never seem to find what they're looking for.
No, I have watched my share of Bigfoot hunters. And the ads
Any
are
luck?
always
Did they
like-
ever find them?
No, but the ads make it look like
I
like
know.
Jurassic Park,
I know, it's
where
a
it's like
little
they're running from
misleading.
something and it's like big and chasing them, and then you watch this thing, and it's more boring than watching paint. What the fuck are these people doing?
Dude, they take some creative liberties with some of those Discovery Channel things sometimes.
They do.
There was my friends and I used to laugh about this. There was this program, this like series this mini series that came out on, I think it was the Discovery Channel when I was a kid, like when I was in high school. It had a lot of marketing behind it. Like they really promoted it, and you would see ads for it all the time. Like everybody at the time had heard of it, and it was this program on the Discovery Channel about aliens on another planet, and it was pitched to you from this like very scientific perspective of like, this is a very educated, reliable projection of what life on another planet could look like. And it was just the most fantastical bullshit I have ever seen in my life. It was hilarious. Like they would be like, this creature is called the bladderhorn. He attracts a mate by expanding his throat muscles. And you're sitting there and you're like, this is a made-up alien. Like, you invented this.
Yes.
Someone just came up with it. This is no more credible than a Disney film.
No.
But it was pitched as this reliable scientific thing on Discovery Channel. It was so funny. And they would like, they would make up sounds for all the different aliens, and that different aliens would have like their like mating calls and things. And this one alien just looked like if you took like a butt, someone's butt, and put it on two long skinny legs, and then gave it this head that looks like a bullhorn, and they'd be like, "This is the bladderhorn. He exists on the northeastern corner of this solitary planet which we together explore." And it'd be like, "The bladderhorn attracts a mate by blasting his impressive sound." And then it would be like,
And you're like, how did I end up here?
and you're sitting there, you're watching it, you're like, am I high? Like, what? None of this is reliable information. This is all pure nonsense, and I'm supposed to take it seriously. Discovery Channel had some good stuff, though.
Yeah. There was always this running joke about the History Channel, where in the day it's about like history, like World War II, the rise of the Bolsheviks, all stuff, and then suddenly at night it's like UFO hunting and this.
Yeah. Yes, the stuff that came on late at night on the Discovery Channel in those days was ridiculous.
just outright lies.
Just outright fantasy. Pure fantasy. I guess enough people watched it that they just kept making it. A lot of people must have liked it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was always the same shit.
For sure, yeah. You know what's but you know what's so strange nowadays is like things are so bad in terms of like cost of living, inflation, all that stuff, is like governments are actually coming out now and saying, yeah, we've had contact with, and we're going to release UFO files and this and that. And pretty much most of the people don't even give a fuck, because they're like, I can't.
Oh my god.
I need to.
I know.
I don't care
I'm
about
trying to
anything.
pay my rent. I don't care if there's space aliens. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that Steven Spielberg movie, Disclosure Day.
Did you see it? Okay. How was it?
I don't know. I want to, I never
I
know what
watched
to
it. I was
say.
like, did Steven Spielberg already do this? But wasn't this like Third Encounters of the,
Wait, have
something?
you? Oh, but you haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it yet, right?
I saw the trailer and I was like, wait,
Yeah.
Didn't Steven Spielberg do a movie? But
It
anyway,
was
tell me.
it was very much like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay.
Not as good, but that's also not necessarily saying a ton, because Close Encounters of the Third Kind is actually, it's a really well done movie. It's a really good movie, and it's a kind of a classic. So competing with Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a tough one. It's a really good movie,
Yeah.
but it was a lot like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, just in that there's a character in the film, the lead character, I think it's Emily Blunt,
Yeah.
who becomes suddenly possessed with this knowledge that no other humans have access to, and that's kind of been transmitted to her by aliens.
Okay.
And she kind of goes on this quest, So it's a lot like Close
Okay.
Encounters of the Third Kind in that way.
Yeah.
And I do actually love that concept.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a really cool concept, that this regular person could suddenly become possessed with knowledge, or with this drive to sort of uncover or discover something. And this drive was implanted in them by an extraterrestrial force, and they don't even know where it's coming from, or why they suddenly have the visions they're having and stuff.
Okay.
I do really like that concept, and I liked it in Close Encounters of the Third Kind too, because it was just Richard Dreyfuss, the lead. You saw Close Encounters, right?
I haven't seen it. Yeah. Growing up, I wasn't as into aliens. Now I am, not as much as cryptozoology, but I am more into it. But yeah, I will check it out. I just like the idea of aliens making themselves, or making contact in my life. 'Cause I would just love
Huh.
for the world to open up to the possibility that there is life beyond us, because then I think it would just put a lot of these religious charlatans to a different side, because like all
Yeah.
this time they've just been like going on about how humans are the chosen one and this and that, and it's like, I have no problem with religion,
Yeah.
by the way. I have a problem with people radicalizing religion and making like
Yes.
desperate people do bad things because of it.
Totally.
It happens all over the world. It's not a America thing. It's not a Middle Eastern thing. It happens everywhere in the world.
And it's been happening since the dawn of humanity.
Happening since the dawn of religion. Yeah. So I would just love for aliens to just make themselves appear so that it's
Totally.
like there is beyond us. What's next?
Well, that was a theme that was actually explored in Disclosure Day.
Oh, okay.
So you might find that interesting. I did find that part very interesting. They
Okay.
did talk about religion in it, and it's like I'm not really giving anything
Yeah.
away. I'm just talking about certain aspects of the movie conceptually, but they talk about how the reason there are powerful figures controlling the narrative and refusing to release information about aliens to the public is because they have this fear that society will fall apart and people will lose belief in God, and religion will fall apart, and structures will fall apart, and it'll be chaos. That's like and I mean, also ultimately, I mean, that's how they pitch it, but the truth is they're just afraid of relinquishing the power, the power and control that they enjoy over other humans. But yeah, so that was like a big, I mean, because hey, let's face it, like certain religions have a whole lot of power.
Yes.
The Catholic
yes.
Church,
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
powerful,
Tons
pretty
of power.
rich.
Yeah.
You can have both. I mean, you can believe in God and also believe in aliens. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no one's telling you to stop believing in whatever you might believe in. Just don't be a dick to other people
Yeah.
for what they believe in.
Right. If you, a lot to ask from some.
No. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that would be those keyboard warriors we were talking about earlier.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
dig their heels in.
No. I like it.
I want to believe it. I like it.
So, if there are aliens, do you think they're benevolent? Like, do you think they would be nice, or do you think they'd be villainous? Because they're depicted both ways throughout the history of cinema. We have some movies that are with the evil aliens. So,
I know,
like Ridley Scott's notion over there.
Independence Day with who's that guy? Bill Pullman just riling everybody up, and Will Smith punching an alien before he slapped Chris Tucker. Um, Welcome to Earth, muff, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Give him a quotable line in this scene.
Get those writers here. Give me a line for Will when he punches his alien in the face.
Larry, send a line over to the head of the writers. Tell him we need a quotable line here.
Welcome to Earth. That'll work. Hello, Academy Awards. Okay. Yeah, and then
I smell Oscars.
I smell Oscars, yeah. And then we have terrifying aliens like the fucking Predator who just comes and he's like, his job is just like being the best hunter in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
and
Predator was a cool concept because he was on Earth.
Yeah.
And it was like these military guys who were trained to fight have to go up against him. And he's just like, that's literally what he is. He's just this apex predator.
Yeah.
It was a cool idea.
If you guys want like a nice horror flick, watch The Predator. It's a lot of fun. Really well made.
It actually is a lot of fun.
And it's really well made for its time. It's from the 80s. It's the time when all these like macho guys were big, and it was just it took a genre and really kind of turned it on its head. I mean, it's aged really well. Like it beats even the recent movies.
Yeah.
The recent Predator movies definitely have way better graphics and stuff like that, but this was like, there was something about practical horror, man. Like when they actually had the suits and they actually had stuff. Like there's kind of like a realism to it that kind of is a little freaky,
totally. Dude, the best example of that I can think of is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh my God, The Thing.
The organic models and monsters that he had them sculpt and make in that film are so creepy and disturbing.
It's kind of terrifying because there's this one scene, I know you know what I'm talking about, where it kind of like it's if for anybody who hasn't seen The Thing, it's another alien movie. It's a fucking brilliant movie. It's about these people who are out in the Arctic and this alien kind of invades them, and it's like a shape-shifting alien. So there's this one scene where it's like shape-shifting between one of them, and I'm not going to say who because that's part of the suspense. And like it looks really weird. It's like half alien, half person. And they did it with like a model, and they put like animatronics so the model moves, and it moves unnaturally because it's an animatronic robot, and it just kind of adds to how creepy this thing is,
Yeah, because sometimes the way they move, it's almost a little awkward, but it just makes it more messed up and kind of disturbing and strange. It's just a testament to the fact that more advanced technology does not always equal heightened emotion in art. And another example of that is music, because a lot of the recordings from like the Beatles era or Led Zeppelin's era, the 70s and stuff, these are really old recordings at this point, but they still sound amazing. And there's still people to this day, even young people chasing a lot of those sounds, even though there's been massive advances in sound recording technology. I mean, the microphones and the preamps and the way we can convert analog information to digital information in our computers, it's become so refined and advanced, and it can really capture more like detail than older recordings that might have been on tape and whatnot. But what we've kind of just realized is, art is about feeling and emotion, and what those old recordings they have enough detail that you can hear everything that's going on and enjoy it. You're not like losing detail with them. even though they're not as detailed as modern day recordings in the sound captured. But they're warmer sounding, and they still sound great. So it's just interesting. Like, it's counterintuitive in a way. You would think, oh, we want more detail, we want more realism, and it's like that doesn't always make it better as a piece of art. Just like you just said with that. With the CGI we have today, the computer generation abilities we have today, there's more detail, and there's the way it's things move in a smoother, more calculated way, and it's like in so many ways it's better than some 70s or 80s horror flick, but yet the enjoyment and that you can get from watching some of the first Jurassic Park, the way Spielberg mixed CGI tastefully with animatronic models was so great. I mean, you could still watch that scene in the rain with the T-Rex flipping the Jeep and stepping on it and pushing it down into the mud and roaring. That scene's terrifying. Like, that scene looks amazing still. It's beautiful. It's so real looking. And that's that. A lot of that was not, some of that was CGI, but a lot of it wasn't.
Yes. The just a quick sidebar. The CGI part was the dinosaur running. I was actually watching about this is on Netflix. It's like called Oscar-winning movies or something, and it's Jurassic Park is one of them, and it's and that actually
I didn't know it won an Oscar.
Actually, I don't know if that's the name of the movie, the show, but it's something about like classic movies and how they were made. And it was actually like they were struggling to make the dinosaur run with animatronics. They were experimenting with all kinds of different things, like like miniature models, like making it the actual big T-Rex was so heavy and it would get so wet in the rain. It was like impossible to make it run naturally. And there was this guy who I think he was working on, he was a computer engineer, and he figured out a way to make it run, and he wasn't sure whether to bring it up or not, because it was like he knew it would mean it, like it might mean like the end of practical effects and stuff like that. And I don't want to butcher the story, but that's how I know that the running part was CGI, because they needed a way to make the T-Rex run, and that T-Rex running scene is just really, really cool. It's it's one of those,
you mean
like,
when
sit
he's
up in your
chasing
seat.
you mean when he's chasing the car?
Yeah, when he's chasing the Jeep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
terrifying.
awesome. It's so good. It's a scary part.
Jurassic.
And by the way, sometimes limitations lead to heightened creativity. In ways that you can't control or predict, and you have to be open to that. That's why a lot of these films that have absolutely unlimited budgets just suck, because they end up just being these bloated technology masterpieces, but they lack the heart or the warmth or the realness of something like lower budget. And we talked about this in another episode when we were talking about AI, but like, again, that a big part of the artistic process, and this is not something that tech nerds can appreciate, but it is something that artists can appreciate and do know, which is that the discovery process is part of the creation. You're allowing the piece to create itself to a large extent, and you're just guiding it along and interpreting it as you go. But you want to be open to happy accidents and surprises. And so that's why AI can be a useful accompaniment to human creativity, but it can never be a complete replacement for it.
That's true. When I think about the stuff that I really enjoy, it's almost like human and machine working in, not harmony. That sounds kind of like 70s stuff. But it's
Makes
true.
sense.
Like, it's like you there needs to be, especially with art, there needs to be a human aspect to it. And also, like, you're bringing in, no one's saying don't use computers. They definitely make your life easier. But, like, if you overdo it, it just kind of, it almost like people can tell somehow.
Art is it's not supposed to be always easy. It can be easy sometimes, and that's okay too. But
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be. It doesn't have to be.
It's like,
You know?
yeah, it's like you're discovering things. Like, discovery is a part of creation. Discovery is a part of creating art. And one thing is, when you use AI, is you don't discover, the only things you discover is how to talk to the AI better. That's what you discover. You discover that you can speak to your AI program, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, Claude, whatever you're using. These are useful tools, but you will notice the way you frame your question changes what your response is. So you often, like, I follow people creating art with AI all the time because I'm very curious. I don't believe you should turn your back on technology. You should always know what it can do so you can understand how it can help you the best that it can. And
Absolutely.
like a lot of these people who come up with art with AI, when you read about how they did it, it's not about how I wanted the face to look, how I wanted the action to be. It's more like, this is the prompt I used, and then I had to use this prompt, then I had to use this prompt, then I had to use this prompt. So that's your discovery process with AI, is the how you're speaking to it. Whereas when you sit and draw something by yourself with hand, your discovery process is how, when you draw a line a certain way, how it changes how the image looks. Or when you add
Yes.
this color, how does it change that? Or when you play this chord, what happens? So it's like your brain discovers things in a different way, so that when you are called upon to create it, you know what to do because you have spent
Yes.
time understanding the process.
Yeah, and
So
a lot of
yeah.
times things that actually a guy named Ellie who listens to our show.
Oh,
Um,
hi, Ellie. Thank you, sir.
yeah, hi Ellie, thanks for listening. He was talking about how, like, the company he works for, and he's an artist actually, but
Oh,
he was
okay.
talking about how the company he works for, a lot of times the AI doesn't make things faster and better and easier. A lot of times it
Yeah,
gums up the
it's
works because a lot of times the automatically generated AI stuff or AI designs have to just, a human has to go back and adapt and correct them anyway.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
they're paying somebody for that time anyway. It's like you might as well have just because when you try to make it with AI, it's asking for all these prompts and all these specifications. It's like, just fucking make it. Just do it yourself. Like, I mean, look, there are certain specific ways in which AI can be useful, okay? But it's not a replacement for the human hand or the human mind.
yeah.
A pet peeve of mine is when people say art evolves or music evolves. And the reason that's a pet peeve for me is because if you look up, because I just did look it up, if you look up the definition of the word evolve, this is what it says. Okay, listen to this.
Okay.
To evolve means to develop or change gradually over time, often moving toward a more advanced, complex, or better adapted state. And the reason I hate when people use that word in that way and say that art or music, music evolves. The reason I hate that is because the word evolve implies a positive momentum towards something better. Now, if you look at computers and technology, it evolves.
Yeah.
It absolutely evolves. A computer today, it's better than a computer 20 years ago. Like, it's better. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? A calculator today is better and faster than one from 20 years ago, whatever. But art is not technology. Art does not evolve. It changes. Art can change, and it can go backwards and it can go forwards and it changes but it doesn't evolve. Art today, and the proof of that is, take a song or take music from today. Is it objectively more advanced musically or interesting or better in any way than music from the 70s or the 90s? Absolutely not. There's
Right.
strong arguments
Right.
to be made. There's more so like a regression. I mean, but either way, even if we could just say like all of it's good. We can just take that and it's all subjective. All music is good. Even if you want to take that perspective, it's there's no evolution. It's
Yep.
just change.
Right.
Yeah, with art.
Exactly. It's in fact, you might even say that, like, I mean, if you think about it, there are so many artists who have created art a long time ago, who are if not more famous today than they've ever been in, before, because like, it's like you can't tell what might resonate with somebody and what might continue to resonate with somebody. However, you will not find many people using a Walkman these days because
Maybe some, ironically, some assholes.
I like listening to my Walkman. You won't find music like this ever. It's like, bro, that you can safely say, my 4K, my music player on my phone has better quality of music than what your Walkman cassette. I used to listen to a Walkman cassette, and the minute I heard how a CD, I didn't want to go back to a cassette because it was just something else. But then, of course, you can also argue that vinyl has its own quality. That's a topic for a different thing, because there are definitely vinyl heads out there, and I do get the allure of vinyl. But
vinyl, vinyl is, I guess vinyl's a little different because it is like a more analog way of listening. Like it's this physical disc that's spinning around on a table, kind of producing vibrations or something. Yeah. But I don't know a ton about that, and I've never, I've never personally gotten into vinyl.
Yeah.
It was never important enough to me personally to pursue that. But I know there are people who swear by it who just get a lot of joy out of their their vinyl record what do you call it? A record, right? Is it a record?
Yeah,
vinyl record. Their record collection, they love it, and I totally get. By the way, I totally get the love of physical objects and the pictures.
Sure.
I totally get loving album art.
Yeah.
My God, album art used to be so important, and it was such a cool thing. I love that shit.
Your CD would come with like a booklet. You would listen to the song. You would look at the booklet. You would look at the art.
I love it.
Read the lyrics. It was great. It was like an experience.
I know. And it would help create a world in your mind.
Yeah, if you missed out on that, if you were born at a time when iPods were already here and you didn't experience that, go back and experience it. You absolutely can. There are music stores that still sell CDs. You can still get a CD player. Just do yourself a favor and just explore that.
Yeah.
Very different way of listening to music. And it's an
buy a CD. Yeah, buy a CD of an album that you really like. And just sit there listening to songs from that CD as you just gaze at the album art on the cover of the CD, and just hold that CD in your hand and look at the pictures on it, and then open up the case. There's a little pamphlet inside with more pictures, and even sometimes some biographies or information. Read some of that, leaf through that, touch that, experience that. It's a really fun thing.
Yeah, I would love to keep talking about this, but it is our time to end the show.
Totally fair.
I think that's a good thing to leave our listeners off
nice.
On.
Very
go
positive. I love
do
it.
That. Yeah, it's trust me, guys, you'll love it. Like it's a really fun thing to do.
Totally. It makes music more fun.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I think it's something you guys should just experience. If you do experience it, you do like it, make sure you let us know. We have Instagram, we have Facebook. Some of you guys have been, reaching out to us and telling us stuff. We'd love to hear what you think about it, and tell us what you listen to. We have fun talking about music.
It's a great, I love that. We do. It's a great, we bounce around between movies and music. But I know you said you had a hard stop, and I want to let you get to what you need to do.
So I am going to, we have to cue us off a little bit. And so I'll just play
can we?
Ooh, sorry. Do you want to play something else?
Well, I thought it might be fun to.
Okay.
I love that one. I thought it might be fun to try a wild card or another one.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it.
Just for the
see what it's
just for the heck of it. Yeah, you can always edit this part out, right? Okay. Let's see. That is one nice guitar.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. I like listening to the guitar. That's the
Thanks, man.
Gibson, right? Yeah, it's a
It's
great.
actually not. It's actually a Strat. But it's
Oh, even better.
I know. I do really love.
Gotta
I mean,
get
I
me
love my
one of those.
Gibson, but it's Gibson is a heavier sound. A Fender Stratocaster is a really smooth, beautiful sound. That's through my Marshall amp. My old. Speaking of vintage gear, my Marshall amp is like from the early '80s. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's through an old Marshall amp from 1984.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah, we can talk
me
about it
too.
the next episode for sure. But thank you guys for stopping in, and we will, catch you on the next one.
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week ahead, and we will talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.